Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Wacky Gamer Podcast.
Episode 42.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Episode 42.
Wow, that's sad.
Because the last episode was episode 41. This episode is 42.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
42 is the number of vitamin waters I've drank today.
I fucking love vitamin water.
Vitamin water. Is it in you?
I really wish we get paid for this someday.
I'm hoping that people
get
are
retroactively paid.
I'm hoping people are sending this to vitamin water.
Well, it's owned by Coke, I think.
Coca-Cola. Have a Coke and a smile.
I do like me some Diet Coke, actually.
Diet Coke's
Diet
good.
Coke is delicious.
$200 every time we say Coke, too.
No sugar.
No sugar in Diet Coke.
But all the same shitty flavor and caffeine.
No.
And bubbles.
Tastes totally different.
Have you tried Coke Zero?
I have tried Coke Zero.
And it's totally different from both of them.
It is totally different from both of them, but it's closer to being
Coke.
Not entirely totally different than Coke.
It's like new Coke.
You know what? It does taste like new Coke.
I bet you that's all they did, and then they
probably just brought back new Coke
and took out the sugar and replaced it with like NutraSweet or something.
Goddamn Bill Cosby.
All right. So we didn't ask for comments this week on Facebook because we had a bunch left over from previous weeks, and that people had just volunteered. So you can always volunteer topics, podcast at wackygamer.com anytime you want. Just send them in.
That's true.
Sometimes I won't reply to your email because I'm going to reply here. Adam never checks Facebook or
I don't
Gmail.
go online.
You should. Go on our Facebook page at least.
I'm busy working out and writing poetry.
No, you're not.
Hey, ladies.
He totally doesn't write poetry. When he says poetry, he means dick jokes for an old man and a woman.
I can't believe that you didn't call me out on the working out thing.
Well, you do have to get up and go to the kitchen to get food.
I power walk when I do it.
See?
But it's mostly because I need to poop.
God. So Adam is cutting sugar out right now?
Yes, I am.
He is actually acting weird, and he admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen someone act weird. I've seen someone act like sluggish and slow and reserved. Adam is kind of the opposite, like loopy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've also started like really actually just eating vegetables and going back to eating the way that my body actually works.
Oh, so are you trying to lose weight or just not eat like a retard?
Well, no, it's more like after I broke up with Maggie.
No one knows about that.
I broke up with my girlfriend, and
which is hard when it's your left hand.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, she is a really good person. She works out and she eats right and everything.
That makes you a good person. Not treating others well.
Well, she treats other people great too.
Yeah, she does.
But the point is, when you're in a relationship with somebody like that, you kind of get to let yourself be worse because you're like, well, of course, I'm a sack of shit, but my girlfriend's a really great person.
See,
so it's like it
I find it the other way around.
Yeah. So
when my wife starts working out, I start working out.
No, you see, I'm the opposite. So basically, we broke up. I look around. I'm like, holy shit! Like, number one, I haven't cleaned my room in 4 years. That's not good.
Well, you do get in that like, well, why bother? Because
yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I also can't eat this way. Why am I eating like this? I'm gonna get diabetes. I'm gonna die. So I'm trying to clean up.
You shitting better? More solid? You notice that yet?
Well, it's basically just coming out like vegetable puree. Like a lot of times I look in the toilet, I'm like, if I just pooped in a pot, added some water and some noodles, I could have sold this. I mean, I wouldn't eat it.
Wow.
But I'm eating a lot of raw vegetables is the thing.
Wow. Okay.
But you asked the question?
I didn't ask for... I asked if it was coming out better, not...
Well, I guess.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
It's coming out the same way it usually does, so through the butt.
I'm going to change subject.
Okay.
This was awesome. A bunch of YouTube people have been doing my first car. And someone posted this, and I had already seen it, but I didn't comment on it. Mitchell posted, okay, everyone else is in YouTube is making a video about your first car. I was wondering what your guys' first car was. Barely Political / Key of Awesome did Batman's first car.
Oh yeah,
being a piece of junk. It was a pretty good video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll go first.
All right.
Mine was a hand-me-down from my parents, like most people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1987 Mercury Cougar. This was in like 94. So 7-year-old Mercury Cougar with 120,000 miles on it, and to Europeans, that's like 7 billion kilometers. Literally. So, I mean, it's been around the Earth like
20 times.
Yeah, I was going to say 21, but we were close. And it drove like a tank. Mm-hmm. Like it was low to the ground. Cougars were not... They're like Ford Tauruses almost. They're like the same body frame.
I just need to point out, Jeff has always had a thing for cougars. It's true.
Anyway, so the thing drove like a tank, and my dad had already hit someone with it before.
Wait a minute.
He gave it to me.
This is the interesting... See how he tries glazing over that? Who did he hit with his car?
No, someone ran a red light.
Oh, he hit somebody's car.
Yeah. Here's a funny story about the car. So someone runs a red light and they were drunk, totally their fault. But he hits them in their rear tire. Their rear tire is pushed like 3 or 4 feet into where it should be. His car, there's a slight crack on the fiberglass. That's how like well-made cars were. And this was only 87, but like cars are made so much better. Yeah, they still had metal in them. And his car the dent got pushed in a little, and they just kind of pushed it back to where it should be, and there's a slight crack on the fiberglass on the hood. So anyway, fast forward like 2 years, I'm driving this thing around, this fucking tank, not a lady's car, like that old man gold / copper color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pimpin'.
What?
Pimpin'.
Yeah, it is pimpin'. If I had spinners, it would have been pimpin', but I didn't have spinners. I don't even know if they were around back then.
They weren't.
But fast forward 2 years, I'm driving it. The roads are really wet. I hydroplane into somebody else. Because of that crack in the fiberglass, the whole hood shatters. And like the car was fucked pretty much at that point. But it was really funny because the guy in front of me is like, "Are you okay?" Because he sees my car and it's like destroyed. He had a small little dent on his bumper, but the whole hood is like gone.
It was like the final straw, like when the butterfly lands on the branch and everything comes crumbling in the cartoon.
Anyway, that was my first car, 87 Mercury Cougar.
All right. My first car, and only car, by the way, my first and only car was a 1989 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, I believe.
And this was what year did you get this car?
I got that 97.
Okay. So it was also an older car.
It was an older car. It was really beat up, too. What happened was my dad says to me, he's like, you graduated, you're going to college, you're going to need a car. I want you to have the Cadillac. And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, for $2,000. Okay, so
he charged you for it?
Yeah.
What a dick.
So I give him the money. I get the car. First thing I realize is that the brakes don't really work that well. You have to kind of know when you're going to brake, And the gas has the same problem. You can't push it down all the way. You have to find this sweet middle spot and slowly accelerate to the speed limit, right? I had it for about two weeks before the muffler fell off. I realized a lot of it
happened on one of my cars.
A lot of it was held together with duct tape, is what I realized. I never knew that. The whole car is falling apart. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this car because a Cadillac, everything's expensive. Even though this car that I have is a piece of shit, if you want to fix anything, it's going to cost
you money,
crazy amounts, right? And this one day, I was in a punk band, and I'm with my friend. We're waiting to do a gig, and we decide we'll go to Tops, the supermarket, get some munchies or whatever. We go in, come back, realize I left my keys in the car. I locked my keys in the car, and the whole passenger seat is full of beer bottles and a bag of weed. Because my friend was sitting in that seat, right? And so I can't call my dad, all right? I can't call the cops. I can't call anybody.
What happened to the car?
Mm-hmm.
You have to get into it.
It's locked.
It's locked, okay.
So we go into Tops, get a hammer. I look at the windows. I'm like, okay, well, it seems like the small window in the back would be the cheapest one.
Yeah.
So I break the window. Brandon, my friend, climbs in, opens the door. We leave. I take it to the dealership the next day. They're like $5,000 to replace that window.
That's bullshit.
If it was one of the other windows, it would have been a lot cheaper. But with this window, we have to take out the whole back seat. We have to take out the upholstery. And so I'm just like, fuck it. I
Plastic?
I give it right back to my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, here's that car back. You can just keep it. and I I had my friend drive me back to college.
Now, the reason you didn't have a car other than that one is you've been living in cities, so you haven't really needed it.
I've lived in cities the whole time.
Just to point it out.
You know.
All right.
And now I can't drive. It's been so long. It'd be terrible.
Well, yeah, I still have a car.
Yeah, you do.
Because I can drive.
Yeah.
Is it cause and effect, or?
Well, no, I mean, I haven't driven a car in at least 7 years. Do you even have a California
license? No,
yeah.
You just got it, right?
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah.
Again, my girlfriend at the time forced me to get a license.
Well, yeah, because you can zip car and stuff in the city. You can. There's a thing where you can get cars for like an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so other questions. That's his name.
R.
Verify it. There it is.
He sounds like a pirate.
Yar.
R.
He said, I saw on your website that you're into Magic the Gathering before. I just got back into it. Why do you say you regret it? Because on my website, I said like an unfortunate time period with Magic the Gathering. Do you know Magic the Gathering?
Oh, I know Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
I'm just listening and amazed.
It was in college.
Yeah, that's what people do in college. You
like
know, they experiment.
Yeah, you fucked
with
that
Magic
guy.
the Gathering.
You fucked a guy. I played Magic the Gathering. I think I ended up better off.
I'd like to point this out. I did not fuck a guy
fucked
in
Paul.
college.
I even have emails with people confirming that you said you did it. Okay.
I didn't say. You know, the emails mean nothing. I didn't say it.
Yes, you did.
Get the soundbite. Let me hear the soundbite.
I will next podcast.
No, right now. Put it in. Put it in the podcast right now. I'm listening.
You totally said it. See?
No, I
go.
didn't say it.
Okay. So he asked why I regret it. Now, why I regret it is a huge money sink. If you just play the game, you buy starter decks, and you just play with your friends, whatever. It's an entertaining game. It's a social game. That's great. I mean, it's no different really than playing like D&D or something like that. The problem, if you want to call it that, with Magic is it's very easy to get obsessed with it and just start spending money on cards. And that's the part that I regret. I ended up cash flow positive because I sold a bunch of rare cards. I basically went to a convention and just sold all my stuff.
Yeah, well, I think that's the way you got to do it.
For cash.
See, my thing was with Magic, I never got into the money pit angle. What we did was we got a couple starter decks and played drinking Magic.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If you just treat it like something like that,
it was all right. You got to drink every time you tap a mana.
He also says he can't get enough of us, which is weird. Yeah.
That's really weird. That's creepy.
The other thing is, we asked last time, was it too long and whatever? Remember the sarcastic comment?
That's what I asked the ladies.
And they're always like, what are you talking about?
That's usually what they say.
I can't feel it. That's what Paul said in college. Anyway.
You don't...
he's like, I don't know if I like anal sex because I can't feel anything going on. Anyway. So...
Whatever.
We asked, remember we were talking about the sarcastic comment, whether the comment was like...
Yeah, trying to figure out
50 minutes.
Yeah, trying to figure out if it was sarcastic
People want it longer. Some people want like 2 hours, multiple a week. I can tell you that's not going to happen.
We can't stand each other that long.
Exactly.
We'll kill each other.
1 hour and 10 minutes, I think, is the max. Unless we're drinking with Cronin.
Because I'm telling you, the 1 hour and 10 minute one, what you guys didn't see is Jeff and I having a fist fight at 1 hour and 12 minutes when we were trying to clean up.
We also argue a lot when we're setting up. Like, just stick it in the hole. Just go ahead and stick it right in the hole.
Saying things like that.
I did it intentional. Drink. Okay. This is from Martin. Adam, you look like a Queen fan.
Is that a compliment, Martin?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know if you're trying to call him a drag queen.
It would be nice if there was a font for sarcastic comments because that could totally be an insult. I do like Queen. It's a good band.
He asked, what do you like?
The thing is, I don't listen to music anymore. You know, because I don't drive. I don't have a car.
Well, that's during your commute
read.
Is usually a good time to...
Yeah, and I read on the bus. So, I mean, I don't really listen to music. But I guess, you know, I like all sorts of music. I do like classic rock. I love the Beatles. I see that's on the list and everything. But if you really want to get me, hip-hop.
Yeah. Well, I would say for me, classic hip-hop. And people laugh when I say that, but...
Yeah, there's really... Is there such a thing as classic hip-hop?
Was there such a thing as gangsta rap?
Well, wouldn't you call it old school hip-hop?
Old school,
and yes,
classic,
there is a difference between gangsta rap and rap.
Exactly. But I would say the early time period of hip-hop, the first 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but they call it old school. They don't call it classic.
Well, it depends. It
depends on if you're white or not.
Well, not
You're
a Wigga.
way too white.
I'm not a Wigga.
You're way too white.
I'm not a Wigga like you.
I love vintage hip-hop.
I almost said...
23 skidoo, dog.
I like skeet music.
Yeah. I'm the scat man.
He also said, is the V for Vendetta comic very good? Well, you got it for your birthday.
You should read it.
Does it matter? Yeah, you should just read it.
I've heard it's good. I haven't actually read it yet.
It is good. I can confirm it's good. Better than the movie, but that's like
the movie
most things.
The movie wasn't that bad. I like the movie.
Okay, so on the right, we have no name.
Mm-hmm.
But no, is there a name down here somewhere? I don't fucking know. Do you want to look or do you care?
I don't know. I'm going to assume that
it's vitamin water.
Vitamin water.
He says his name's Vitamin.
Hey, no, wait a minute. Maybe this is vitamin water.
Weird.
Are they going to... Does the email say that they're hiring us?
No.
Oh.
It just...
fucking vitamin water.
He says, I love your podcast, and I listen to the entire thing when it comes out, even though Jeff usually posts it at 11 p.m. GMT.
GMT is my gangster rap name, by the way.
It is, and my name is 11 p.m., which is weird that you would put both of them together like that. So
it actually stands for Greenwich Mean Time. That is my rap name.
Yeah,
it's not even ironic or anything. It's just
and mine's 11 premenstrual, which is weird that he would put it there.
That was odd to have that be your name.
He'd like them to be an hour longer.
No.
So the question I wanted out of here, you put a bunch of questions in here, but have either of you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
I played the first one many, many years ago.
And?
I have a hard time playing a game with Mickey Mouse in it. The game's not bad.
The game's awesome.
I don't like Disney enough to get into the game.
Yeah, I guess if you're not into Disney, there's better RPGs.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. If it was based on Ninja Turtles, the exact same game, I'd probably love it. I'd be screaming about how great it is.
Speaking of which, this week's Nerd Wars is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vs. Thundercats. It's going to be...
I play that game.
Slightly epicer.
Slightly epicer.
It also has one of the worst guffaws we've ever had in a video. We misnamed, I did, and then you kept with it. You didn't correct me on it. The sword.
What, the Sword of Thundera?
No. The Sword of Omens.
Oh, no.
With the Eye of Thundera.
Oh, my God.
We combo mealed that shit.
Oh, my God. We're going to get so much shit.
I know, and I put a little subtitle, but I know it's going to rain.
We are going to get shit. Oh, well.
Yeah, so... Yep.
Oh, well. He has another good question. What's your favorite Super Mario?
I could have just dubbed it.
He could.
Which email are you reading from?
I'm reading from Vitamin Water.
Where do you see that?
Favorite Super Mario?
That says favorite superhero movie?
Oh, goddamn dyslexia.
Oh, my God.
I saw Super Mario.
Can you see superhero now?
Yeah, I totally see it now. Oh, man. But you see how I got it. There's an R and an O. There's the M over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different words.
The A's down there.
There's no space.
It's called dyslexia.
Okay.
It's how it works. My favorite Super Mario
Brothers
game,
3.
2. Super Mario Brothers 2.
2 is the bad one.
No, 2 is my absolute all-time favorite. I love that one.
2 is the one that was the different game that they made into a Mario game. Now, I might say that one only because I played that one with my mom a lot. Like, she would actually come and we'd play it together.
I played that one incessantly.
The other question I liked on his email was this next one. Who's your favorite comedian that you don't know personally? I would say Adam McLaughlin.
I'd have to agree. He's pretty good.
Yeah, you don't know him well either.
No, not really. He's kind of a two-faced douche.
So I would break this into two. The one I like now and the one like that got me started on comedy.
Yeah.
The one that got me started on comedy was Carlin.
Yeah, George Carlin.
The one I like now, C.K.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Louis is just awesome the way he expands on topics. And
I would say for me, Dave Chappelle got me in.
Yeah.
That got me really interested. And what's his name? Brian Regan?
That's a comedian.
Yeah. Is he the one that does Hot Pockets and everything?
Is that him or Jim Gaffigan?
Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
There we go.
He's got the weird voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The POV of the audience is what it is. Yeah, I like it.
What is this guy talking about? I can't do his voice thing, but
he's so weird.
Yeah, it's better.
He's so big. But no, my thing with him is he finds so much material on such tiny things. You know, like 7 minutes on Hot Pockets. I just think that's amazing that he can explore. Well, him and his wife actually can explore angles that deep. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of why I like Louis C.K. is he's talking about pretty basic stuff from
the worst stuff.
Yeah, or he comes from an angle that's just like really angry and bitter, but it's still hysterical.
Yeah, everything Louis C.K. says should be comedy poison, but for some reason it's
he gets away with it,
which is why you have to love him. Even if you hate it, his comedy, you have to respect him as a comedian.
And I was talking to someone the other day, I think it was Katie Compa, who's moving to New York. Mm-hmm. We were talking, and I was talking about
Katie Compa's another comedian, by the way.
A lot of people give people like Dane Cook shit, and they don't like what he does.
Yep.
Ignoring the potential joke stealing that he's been accused of.
That happens.
Yeah, but I gotta respect the guy because he's making a lot of people laugh, and people are coming to his shows.
See,
I don't need to appreciate it to appreciate that somebody appreciates it and is getting enjoyment out of it.
See, and my thing would be, I'd look at it the same as a porn star. Just because a lot of guys jerk off to you doesn't mean I have to respect you. All right, because what you're doing isn't really that complicated. You know, I'm sorry if I looked like Dane Cook and would jump around on stage and wiggle my ass enough, I bet I could get a lot of people to come to my shit too. It's all of my problem with Dane Cook. Yeah. All right, is that I am a joke structure whore. I'm really into joke structure and joke theory
and writing and
yeah. Whereas Dane Cook, the majority of what he does is shock jokes, character, and he only has one character. It's a gay man / his girlfriend, and it's the same person. And then besides that, he just does point of view. Meaning he just says what he thinks.
That's all.
And then people
Louis
laugh.
Doing.
Well, no. Louis does first off better things. He has joke structure mixed in with the POV, so he makes you think one thing. He says another. When he does a shock joke, it's not usually a shock joke like, "Oh, wizard sleeve pussy" or whatever. You know, like I can't think of any Dane Cook jokes. His shock jokes are more. It would be called unspoken truth, rather than an unspoken. You know, like fuck is unspoken. Unspoken truth is the fact that Louis secretly wants to kill his children.
Yes,
and
can't stand them,
and he can't stand them at all. But it's very relatable. You know, even me without children, I kind of want to kill Louis C.K.'s children.
So someone says I always look so small next to you.
I'm rather large.
Well, you're shorter than me.
I am shorter.
I have the worst posture.
That's true, but I'm deceptively large.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a side note. So that's the comedians.
Yeah, there you go. We should never talk about comedy like that again.
One topic I want to bring up.
Everybody.
If you did not see this past week's Community on Dungeons & Dragons, have you seen it?
What? Thursday? Oh, no, don't talk about it. I haven't seen it.
It was the best episode of any comedy I've seen in a long-ass time.
I'm saying this. If you haven't watched Community, fuck you.
Yeah, you need to watch that stuff. And if you're a Euro, you need to either find that stuff online, BitTorrent it, get the DVDs.
Community is... And I'll tell you this. If you haven't watched it and you start with the first season, give it a couple.
Well, I would say that about like every comedy.
4 or 5.
I gave someone Venture Brothers... Mm-hmm. And they watched like 3 or 4 episodes, And they're like, we're really not gonna. And I'm like, you need to just push.
You need to watch
It's like Arrested Development. It's like you just gotta,
Parks and Recreations.
That I don't like as much.
When's the last time you watched it?
I watch every show.
Really? You don't like Parks? I can't get enough
like
of it.
But I don't. For some reason, like Community, I will be laughing out loud. Where Parks, I will enjoy watching it, but I won't.
Ron
be like,
motherfucking Swanson.
Yeah, but he's only on. I like.
But he's precious.
He was on Conan the other day too.
Was
Did
he?
You see that?
What's he like in real life?
Without the stash, that's totally fake.
That would mess me up.
It was weird. It was totally weird.
I could never look at Ron Swanson without a mustache. I want to kiss him with that mustache.
He is a man's man.
He really is. All he eats is meat.
You should watch that Conan. Go find the Conan.
I'll watch the Conan.
But I would say that episode of Community, even if you don't plan on watching the show, you gotta watch that episode. And if you don't watch the show regularly, you'll get hooked because there's nerd stuff throughout the show. It's clear there's nerd writers on that show.
I would also say, if you haven't watched Community, watch the Halloween zombie episode.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Frigging brilliant.
What other show was I watching recently? Archer. I finally started watching Archer.
Did they start the new season yet?
Yeah, they started the new season. They're 2 or 3 in.
Oh, I'll have to look it up on.
It's as good as everyone says. I gotta say.
Yeah, it's dialogue heavy, sarcastic, character driven comedy.
Extremely well written.
Mm-hmm.
So tight, and they're easy jokes most of the time. That's just the way they.
What's the name of the guy who does that?
Archer.
Yeah, he's the voice of Archer.
I have no idea.
He's the producer. He's also Bob's Burger. He does that.
It's not.
And Metalocalypse.
Yeah, I don't know.
He does a million things. Home movies.
Yeah. Anyway, go watch that. That's my TV interjection that was not requested by anybody.
No, I think that was a good interjection.
Thank you.
People do need to watch Community.
I'll be here all week, or for this 45 minutes to an hour.
You know what? Here's something though. Outsourced.
I tried watching that again.
I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to get into it.
It is so racistly bad.
I don't know if racist is the right term.
It kind of is.
Well, it's
playing off racial stereotypes. There's no denying that.
It does play off racial stereotypes, and it does rely on the fact that they're in India, and it's basically a situational comedy in India.
But I think the only reason it's funny is because of your perceptions of what India is.
There you go. Because that was my thing. I was watching it the other day. I'm like, if I was watching this and this was based in Montana, would I think this is funny at all? I'm like, no, I don't know if I would.
And
I really want to like it because there's
surprised.
finally a show that actually isn't all white. You know, where it's like white's the minority in the show, and I'm like, this is cool. This is a mainstream show. I guess what was the last one? Bill Cosby. No, it was friggin' Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, there's been a couple more. What's the show with? Well, I mean, there was a bunch in the 70s and 80s. There have been some.
There have been some, like Carlos, not Mencia. Sorry,
Full House.
Full House
not
is all
Full
white
House,
people.
The one, the show that you
Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Fresh Prince was after Family Matters. But point is, I wanted to like it because it was the first. Well, not the first, but it was one of the first predominant shows coming out that had a lot of heat. That
was the first? I would say the first non-Hispanic and black
Hispanic.
Yeah, which is the predominant American, population. But
yeah, like the only other one I could think of is like Margaret Cho had a show for like 10 minutes.
But I can't. I
really have a hard time liking it.
I watched the whole last episode where they were on the train.
I didn't see that one.
They were trying to do like a off-site and everything went wrong. But
I'd just like to see more jokes based on the characters, less jokes based on India.
Yeah, make them actual people that have weird, like Community. Abed, it's not that he's playing against
he doesn't play against any stereotype
other than like he's a fucking weird guy.
Actually, none of them play their stereotypes except for the old guy, Chevy Chase. But
they play person stereotypes. Like Abed is like a completely socially awkward, almost Asperger's autistic kind of guy, but not really. The girls are like play neurotic women, but they're not like
neurotic women, wholesome women.
It's not like the blonde plays a dumb blonde. She plays like just a neurotic woman,
a really neurotic person.
Yeah. Anyway.
Community. Watch
That's
Community.
our TV sidetrack for the week.
Yeah.
Another email. My name is Tiago. Lots of names that I won't read. Just to protect
Tiago. Lots of names.
Your innocence. I was gonna protect your identity.
You can't have 5 names and be innocent.
You can't listen to this podcast to be innocent.
Five names. That's a.
My name is Inigo Montoya. Anyway, his name is Tiago, and he's has both Portuguese and French nationalities, which I assume it means residency /
Well, that's probably how he got all the names.
Yeah, like you needed names for both countries, maybe?
Maybe.
Okay. So I'm subscribed to your channel and love your podcast and other crazy stuff you do.
Thanks.
Keep up the good job. Answer to the last question. We asked what fur omniference was.
Mm-hmm. The power to have fur everywhere.
Which, it's Adam.
There you go. I'm omniferent.
So question, what do you think about real-time strategy games like StarCraft 2 and Age of Empires? I'll let you go first. Because I know your opinions are short.
I have no opinion on this whatsoever.
And you know why?
Because I'm not sure what a real-time strategy game is.
Here's the main reason, though. You don't play PC games.
That's true.
And they're mostly PC games. There's a few good console ones. Halo Wars being the most recent that I can think of. I loved RTS games back in the day. I used to play a lot of Command & Conquer Red Alert.
Oh, wait, Age of Empires. No, I know what they are. Okay.
Wow. Oh, Pringles. I know what chips are.
Oh, we're going to have Pringles?
Okay.
Pringles is a good chip. Everybody should eat them.
If I can
$200.
answer the question now. But or do you want me to finish?
No, I'll answer it. I like them. I really like them. I think they're fun. My problem is so many of them are cookie cutter, kind of the same.
I mean, it's the same basic.
It's the same strategy, the same formula.
Sort of. Especially with newer games like StarCraft 2 and Command & Conquer has always been kind of rush heavy. StarCraft 2 I think did a little better job than other games, but man, I used to hate playing multiplayer Command & Conquer because when I play those games, I like to build.
Yeah.
That's just how I like to play. So multiplayer, I would try and build up a base. And then the other guy would just throw in 4 tanks, and I would have no army because I'm just sitting here happy, like, oh, buildings.
I'm gonna make another building.
And then I'd get my ass kicked. So the one that I liked the best multiplayer was Rise of Nations, which was done by a couple guys that used to work at the Age of Empires company, if I remember correctly. Big Huge Games, maybe. Anyway. It actually was all about building, and you still attacked, but you got a lot of, like, you had to get, like, victory points, those kind of things, and territory, and the way to get territory was to build. So there was actually a lot of building involved in the multiplayer game.
Yeah, they're fun. I don't know. They're fun games. They leech your time. I'll just play one battle for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, well, don't play turn-based strategy games like Civilization because that's like, oh, just one more turn. 6 years later. Shit, it's 2016.
Yeah, that would be my one thing about them. But they're fun.
All right. This is the last email.
All right.
Then we're going to wrap up because Adam has to go blow some young comedians.
Ooh, is today Saturday?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. So, it's from
Beach.
Alex Woe WTF on YouTube's.
What's up, Alex?
With a Z, because
he's gangsta.
He's straight up hip hop. So someone asked on YouTube, by the way, why do we post the podcast on YouTube when you can get it on iTunes? Alex Woe is one of the people because he said he's been listening to it since. Well, he actually said before we were putting it on YouTube, but several people have said they only watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't have mobile devices that sync with iTunes or whatever, so they're at work or whatever, and they just like to go to YouTube and hit play.
And that's why we do it.
Not like they couldn't hit play on the little embedded MP3 player I have on the website, but, you know, people are lazy and
Some
assholes.
people like YouTube. Let them have their YouTube.
Whatever. So we do that so people can look at it.
We do it because we love you.
He had a few questions. What is your favorite food to have in a baguette?
Huh. I don't even know the last time I've had a baguette.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so pretend he said penis.
Oh. Honey mustard.
Honey mustard. There you go.
I don't know. What do you like?
For me, nothing.
Just the bread.
I would like a really good baguette. I will eat plain. A little bit of butter, but usually not.
Oh, you know what? You know what I'd probably like in it, being that I'd never buy baguettes or bread, garlic and butter, like and put it in the oven. Make some garlic
bread out of it.
I like garlic bread.
A baguette was what I was trying to cut when I sliced my finger. That was victory one. So at that point, I was trying to make bruschetta. So I might say like some bruschetta. If I was trying to add anything to it. I just thought it was an interesting food question since people eat food.
That isn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip your second question, but also if you had to fight a superhero, but you had their powers as well, who would you fight? E.g., fight Human Torch, and you also get his flame on fireballs.
So I'm gonna fight somebody who I get the same powers as.
Yeah.
That's a weird question.
I know, but that's why I wanted to ask it
because the thing is, it's going to be a stalemate.
It will be a stalemate, but
or you'd assume it would be a stalemate.
Yeah.
So I guess you'd have to pick somebody that you'd want to hang out with. Deadpool. I'd get the powers of Deadpool because sure he'd cut me up and kill me and everything, but I'll just come back to life. It'll be cool, and I'll get to hear him talk.
I was gonna pick
maybe we'll get a drink.
Wolverine for similar reasons.
There you go.
Because I think it would be fun to just shred the crap out of somebody.
That could
with
be
some
true.
Claws.
I don't think Wolverine would want to hang out with me afterwards, though.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that would just sit in the bar and drink by himself. I'm okay with that. I'll sit and I'll tweet or something.
Yeah, you see,
on Facebook.
Me and Deadpool, we're gonna go out and get the bitches.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
Okay.
But the cool thing is, I'll look a lot better compared to Deadpool.
I want to show this picture. If you're on our Facebook page, facebook.wackygamer.com.
What the fuck?
Bradley posted this picture, and he said, "This totally looks like Adam." It's a dude in a Sailor. Is that Sailor Moon?
That is Sailor Moon
costume. It's pretty epic, and it's not that far off if you grew your stash out.
If I grew my beard out a little more, maybe.
It's about the right amount of chest hair, from what I can tell.
Nah, I'm a lot hairier than this guy. But that's pretty close to me.
Let me. I want one more. See if I can find it. I forget who it was, and I want to give them credit for it because it was an awesome comment. Screw it. We will do another First 15, by the way. A bunch of people gave me GameFly game recommendations.
Yeah, which ones have we got so far?
Vampire Rain is probably going to be the next one on my queue.
That sounds terrible.
And I need to coordinate with you so you add one to your queue so we're not completely using our queues. Well, individual queues. Right? Anyway, I need to send back a game before I can get it. But the comment I wanted to read or mention is someone said that he listens to his podcast, and he said the problem with saying funny things near your daughter is that his 3-year-old daughter is that she'll run around the apartment saying it. And I was like, shit, you listen to the podcast in front of your daughter.
Yeah, you shouldn't listen to it with your daughter.
But no, apparently he said Hadouken Fireball, and that's all she's been saying around the apartment.
Oh, well, how's that a problem?
That is like the biggest compliment I think ever.
Would videotape it and put it online.
Yeah, and that's a viral video right there. Just make sure you link to our video so we get some extra views.
Go ahead and link to. But no, dress her up like Ryu or however you want to say it, and
have her go.
Have her do it and videotape it. You'll get 1 million hits.
When are you gonna have the next Animal Trash?
I don't know.
You already have the story planned out, right?
Well, which
one? The Zelda one?
The Zelda one? The Zelda one won't be for about 2 months at least.
Because you got to make stuff?
I got to build an entire set.
Okay. And then what was the other one?
The other one's going to be Workman's Comp Part 3. If you've seen on Animal Trash, just Animal Trash on YouTube, we have Workman's Comp 1 and 2 up.
Yeah.
This one is going to be a lot of Vietnam flashbacks, a lot of violence. And the guy who's Ken in all the Street Fighter videos is also in this one, and he's still Christopher Walken.
That's awesome.
He's always that's his character.
Voice.
That's his voice.
All right, so I wanted to say, spread the word about our videos so we can keep doing them.
Hell yeah.
Tell your friends. Email us at podcast@wackygamer.com. And if you want to put topics up, you can email us or put them on facebook.wackygamer.com.
Right on.
Adam's got to go do his thing, and I got lazing around to do. So peace out.
Gots to give some beat.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.